When Samuel Mbugua, a business developer in Nairobi, decided to build his home in the city in 2022, persuasion from his cousin about the credibility of SIC Investment Cooperative, along with strong testimonials that it was a reliable land-selling organization, convinced him.
I did a little bit of research and found out they were quite reliable. So we went to see a couple of pieces of land. Then we went to finally see the Kiambu one. Hey, when we got there, the views were good.
He was convinced and brought his wife, who loved the piece of land, before later taking his parents to see plot number 71. His father was happy.
He prayed over the land and then he prayed over us. He was a pastor, so you can imagine. So the first thing he would think of ni kuombea your place.
Mbugua and his wife began negotiations with SIC through a representative and paid the company 1.5 million shillings while planning to engage a bank to clear the balance through a loan they would repay gradually for a total land price of 3.6 million shillings.
Last year, January, all of a sudden I received an email from SIC saying you need to pay the balance within 15 days or we are going to repossess the land. So first of all, that came as a shocker because there was no indication whatsoever. So I tried talking to the credit team. I will be honest, they were not the most customer-friendly people.
He made frantic efforts with his bank to prevent repossession. The bank's lawyers even wrote to SIC requesting official communication regarding the repossession, but the email went unanswered.
There's a form you need to fill in for repossession, which I never got, so I've never signed any form for repossession.
The then CEO, Winston Churchill, promised to restore his land, but those promises never materialized. Instead, SIC opted to refund his 1.5 million shillings, and his visits to their offices turned into a pursuit to recover his money.
To a point I was asking, guys, you're a big company. I've known you to be a big company. Paying me back, or rather paying us back 1.5 million should not be an issue for such size of an organization.
After persistent follow-ups, the acting finance manager asked him to accept refunds in installments.
Enosh was the first person who was very honest and told me, I'll be honest, we cannot pay you this money immediately, but we can have a working plan.
He received 300,000 shillings in 2 phases, and then everything went silent.
Now I was given go ahead.
He says he also met the acting CEO, Jared Odhiambo, who apologized and promised to pay him the balance, but those promises too never materialized. Mbugua is among many Kenyans frustrated with SIC, unable to understand why a reputable organization was failing to meet its obligations. The acting CEO at SIC, Jared Odhiambo, says dealing with office operations while confronting a liquidity crisis has become part of his day-to-day reality.
I also told you a story about a lady who is under medication in India. She's invested with us. The only thing that she's looking at is this investment to get the interest so that she can go for treatment abroad. We've made net loss of over 100 million.
Enosh Isoe, who joined SIC in 2024 and was dismissed earlier this year under what he claims were unfair circumstances, revealed what was happening behind the scenes. The accountant, who rose quickly from stock accountant to acting finance manager, says he found manipulated financial records designed to conceal losses.
From around that particular time, I think the organization became deliberate with regards to hiding losses, because this is a member initiative that a member has put there their money and they're expecting returns over a period of time. Okay, so you can imagine if the organization is reporting a loss, it means this member will no longer be remitting their monthly contributions.
He claims management inflated land stock values to approximately 2.6 billion shillings, far above their actual worth, to present a false picture of performance in the 2024 audited financial report compiled by external auditors RSM.
I informed the CEO. I informed him that he had actually inherited a big mess in the organization.
A special audit report in 2025 revealed that nearly 600 million shillings in past expenses had been improperly capitalized as land value to portray profitability, raising questions about whether SIC ever made real profits.
It's going to be a very sorry state for banks once they realize that the audited accounts they relied on to even issue most of these loans were creative accounting.
Acting CEO Jared Odhiambo, however, blames management for a lack of transparency.
The 611 million, and we pointed it out during the audit report which we did, was supposed to have been expensed through the P&L. Those are some of the proposals which were given. Then I think management and the board then chose the easier route of loading into the stocks. I will not know the reasons why.
When you reviewed the controls.
Internal audit expert Dorothy Chepkoech, who has been practicing internal auditing for more than 20 years, explains that auditors are often blamed unfairly, even though key decisions rest with management.
Audit is like a mirror. It reflects to you what the organization is doing and tells you whether you're in the right direction, what needs to change, and they give you recommendations of how to make it better. An issue, an observation, a risk, management is meant to go ahead and close that gap that is resulting in a negative impact on the investor.
So what led to SIC's financial collapse, leaving members with losses exceeding 2 billion shillings? Founded in 2009 as a cooperative, SIC ventured into land and housing development. But trouble began after the COVID-19 pandemic as performance declined and profits shrunk. Of the reported 2.8 billion shillings in land stock, 53% faced problems including ownership disputes, inaccessibility, and fraudulent land deals. Former procurement officer Enoch Kerama describes the irregular procurement practices he witnessed during his short stint at the cooperative.
To my shock and surprise, I realized that the policies were just books or papers. No one was interested to follow them. I tried to raise the same with the concerned management that I feel your policies are good, yes, but the implementation is poor.
Despite systems purportedly in place, SIC owned land worth 245 million shillings that could not be sold due to rock and steep terrain. Investigations led our team to Kitu Ridge in Mua, Machakos County, where some plots located 6 kilometers off the Machakos-Kitui Road were largely rocky and unsuitable for development. Similar problematic land purchases occurred in Kisumu, Kajiado, Uasin Gishu, Nyeri, and Machakos. Further losses stemmed from the disregard of valuation reports. In the Katani Kijani Phase 2 project, land valued at 374 million shillings was purchased for 457 million shillings.
If they were to follow their policy, on board the land within the procurement procedures, they could maybe be able to note it and see that these prices at which we are buying this land, we might not end up selling and make any business. Because when you are in business, you have to see the cost of acquisition versus the sales and what is your margin.
In the Miran housing project in Ruaka, members lost over 274 million shillings after the first contractor exited despite having received 176 million shillings upfront. Project cost ballooned from 588 million shillings to 785 million shillings. Odhiambo insists the project will be revived, but Isoe warns the houses may never be handed over since they are bank financed and repayments have been diverted.
The report revealed that we are in a loss-making territory for those 4 blocks. Possibly by July this year, there are ongoing activities or initiatives that are being done to ensure that the project is delivered by then.
It will never be handed over. The reason it will never be handed over is, one, it is financed through the bank. Okay? And the security for the same financing is the returns that we receive from members' collection for the same off-plan project. But to surprise you, the organization is diverting the same money to operations. The money is not going to escrow, so which means the banks will never get their money back.
Leadership instability between 2020 and 2025, marked by high CEO turnover, has raised concerns over internal conflicts. Former staff claim they were pushed out for opposing leadership, while Odhiambo accuses them of fraud and maintains that the leadership changes were purely strategic.
SIC is a crime scene that is repeating people that committed crimes that are trying now to, to whitewash themselves. And that is the scenario. Because the guys who were there in 2022, when this mess began, have now come up and they are now becoming the chairs and the treasurers of the board. So what decisions will they make to amend this? And even funny of it, the internal auditor who was supposed to protect and give assurance somehow has circumnavigated to become the acting CEO.
SIC is now struggling financially, though the current leadership insists recovery is possible.
My primary vision is, first of all, to turn around the organization, to turn around SIC. And by turning it around, we mean from liquidity, from loss making to profit making, so that we can give returns to our members. And not only giving returns to our members, but giving substantial return to our members. And we are targeting maybe in the next 1 to 2 years, we should be doing a minimum of 6% return.
Despite these assurances, procurement failures, troubled housing projects, and governance shortcomings have left members in limbo.
In the case of cooperatives, there's a Ministry of Cooperatives, I believe, in the government, which should then continuously inspect, check that these people are dealing with investors' money in the correct way. When you mention that money is in a fixed deposit and that money is not there, or you've bought land which its value is not good enough and therefore you cannot even recoup the investment. And if you wanted to pull out, you can't because the money has been invested. In this case, if it is people who benefited, the best way is to sanction them and have them return the assets or let them be liable for the mistakes that they did.
The SIC, as it is called now, shouldn't been where it is now. It should be above the ordinary circles because it's now 16 years old and I still feel it has not attained where it should be.
Most importantly, the government should come in and really try and help us out, because these people's hard-earned money. And we don't want to go back to a scenario of where this becomes a big scandal.
Give us chance. Because I know that people are saying, some members were saying that we go the liquidation way. If that is the route that we go, then members will lose big time. But this organization, the society has got potential. What we need to do is to get, as I indicated earlier, you get employees who are ethical, the board members who are also ethical, and also the staff members who are keen to deliver, and management, especially at the CEO level, who is keen to turn around the organization.
As evidence of alleged fraud continues to emerge, members of SIC remain at a crossroads, unsure whether to stay and hope for recovery or leave and risk losing their investments because selling the shares may not offer any relief. Eugen Mbeka, NTV, Nairobi.